how are you doing today? My name is Louis Lee, and I'd like to introduce the Eubanks Conservatory of Music and Arts guitar program. Hi, now we're on the second section of the lesson, and this is the theory. So what we're going to do is we're going to review pages 6 and 7. That's very important, you see, because we're talking about page 6, which is your nomenclature. And I'm going to get the book. We're talking about this page here, the nomenclature. Now, from teaching for so many years, I find where students, they just do not want to learn this, or for some reason they're not understanding the significance of it, or various reasons they're just not applying the reasonable time in learning this. This is very important. That's why we're going to spend a little time, a few minutes, just to talk about it. Why is it so important? As I said, you want to know what these parts are. You want to know that this is your nut. If you're referring to something, you want to know that this is the neck, but this is the fingerboard. Why is it different? Look at that guitar. You see that white part? This is the fingerboard. This is a separate piece of wood. That's why it's called the fingerboard. Behind it is the neck. The neck is not the fingerboard. Put your thumb behind the neck of the guitar. You know this is the neck. This is the neck. Okay? The fingerboard. This is your fingerboard. These are where your frets are. So if you go to a guitar store or a luthier and you say, look, I like to have my guitar refretted, and the fingerboard, could you adjust that or see if there's any blemishes? You know what you're talking about, and you can articulate that, you see. Or if you go to a luthier and you say, my strings are too high, can you adjust it with the truss rod? They'll say, well, what is the truss rod? The truss rod is here. This covers it. And if you have an acoustic guitar, it's on the other end. And if you look at your book, the truss rod is, where do I say it, is number 5. It tells you what is the truss rod. Well, let's talk about the truss rod. Why is that so important? Because a lot of times when you get your guitar, the strings are very high. And the higher the strings, the more tension it is to play the guitar. So now you have yourself a nice guitar, but every time you play it, your fingers get tired very fast. And you're wondering why. So then again, you don't feel like playing the guitar because your fingers hurt. And your fingers should not hurt. So that means you have to adjust the truss rod. Okay? Do not let somebody tell you anything differently. That's what the significance, that's what it's for. It adjusts the neck. Now, in this class, you can do that yourself. That's why you know that, because if not, if you go to Guitar Center or someplace, they're going to charge you for that $60 to adjust that truss rod. But if you know it, now you're like that lady I was telling you about. She can change her own oil. She doesn't have to go someplace and spend $60. She can just change it herself. And I'm just using that as an example because that's what I used last time. But the truss rod is what you want. You want the action to be low. The action on this guitar is very low, you see. And when I play it, it's easy to play. There's no tension. So I don't have to apply it so my fingers do not get tired. So I can play run. Do that for as long as I want, and there's no tension. But if the strings were high, my fingers would get tired because it has to press harder. So that's not number 1, but that's also important. That's why we want to know this. Also, we want to talk about the bridge. What is the bridge? Here's the bridge. On this guitar here, here's your bridge. And you'll notice that this is a fancy bridge, but what is the significance of this bridge? So you can adjust the intonation. And again, being a guitarist and studying at Eubanks, you want to know this. This is all part of the course, so you know this, so you're well informed and educated. The intonation is when you play the open string and you play up 12 frets, which is the same note, it should sound the same. And with your tuner, you can see that. You can play that E, then you play. Now you cannot see it here, but that's on. If not, then I could adjust it. You see, and that's what the bridge is for, to adjust that, because some guitars, once you get past the 7th fret, the intonation is off. So by the time you get up to the 12th fret, the chord doesn't sound right. And if you go up higher than that, the 15th, it should sound, ooh, that sounds real good. Sounds the same. That's what you want, not where you play up high and it goes off. Sounds the same, you see, so you want to know that. That's what your bridge is for. Your bridge, and this doesn't have a saddle. Okay, these are called your separate pegs, and you can adjust it. That's what these are for. We'll get into that later because that's the intermediate part. But that's what the bridge is for. This is the electric guitar. And on the acoustic guitar, it looks like this. Now this right here is a guitar. And it's a nice guitar. It's a gypsy guitar. And the saddle here, there is no saddle. But there's a bridge. There's a bridge here, and you see that. And so this right here is, but it has a truss rod. And these guitars are almost perfectly tuned. And you would adjust this slightly. But these guitars, the intonation is almost perfect, if not perfect. Okay? However, if we take a look at another guitar here, Takamine. Now you see where we have the bridge. Remember, you know these parts, the nomenclature. Now we have the saddle, you see. And so how do you adjust this? This is not, these guitars are, and I hate to say perfect, but the way they're made, because of the construction, they don't, it's different from an electric guitar. So the intonation is slightly different. And I'm trying to look to see, all of the acoustic guitars are like this. You really don't have much intonation problems as you will with electric guitars for some reason. I guess it's because of the neck, the way it's made, a lot of other factors. And with this guitar right here, still working with the nomenclature, the truss rod is under the neck of the guitar. And if you look at your guitar, it's like a silver looking opening, and you put your hex screw in there and you can adjust the neck. If you turn it clockwise, the strings go up, and counterclockwise, the strings they raise. And even with this guitar, the tension is really nice and it's not real high. Let me make sure I'm in tune. Remember the protocol. Now it's really sharp. I try to make sure all the guitars, they stay in tune. Tension is really nice and it's been adjusted. And so I just wanted you to see that. And here, the truss rod, I think I mentioned that, is under, it's in the sound hole. Remember the nomenclature. This is your sound hole. So that's where it is. It's in the sound hole and it's under the neck of the guitar. Okay, so we'll put this back up here. And so that's why we wanted to cover page 6 and 7. And remember very quickly the nomenclature for your strings. EADGBE, Eddie A. Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. And that concludes the section for the theory.